Well folks, true to form, the reality of the weather is very different to the forecast. It actually had pictures of sunshine. Needless to say, that's definitely not the case. But never mind, the cloud cover will make it nice and insulated on the top and hopefully increase the temperatures. Although it's not forecast to be cold, about 4 degrees through the night and about 5 to 10 kilometre winds. And that's on the summit as well. That's more than doable, more than doable. This is Helm Crag. I'm in the English Lake District here. And we just parked the car. It's about a 1.6, 1.7 mile walk up to the summit. Summit sits at about 405 metres, so it's not a big one by any stretch of the imagination. But when you're carrying a heavy pack, it does not make a difference, big time. Now, in actual fact, I was looking at a prescribed route, but I found a shortcut. It's much more direct up to the summit, but needless to say, it's much steeper. Now, there doesn't seem to be a path other than maybe a sheep run and where people have been kicking steps. But it does shave off quite a bit of the distance, and really the objective is to get to the summit, get the camp set all kind of set up and done and dusted, and hopefully by that point it'll give it a chance for the clag to lift and start getting some beautiful views over the rest of Grasmere and the surrounding hills. So with no further ado folks, I'm going to take on a little bit of water and we'll make haste up to the summit. Well folks, we're about 2/3 of the way up now and the weather's holding up nicely. I'm getting closer and closer to the cloud. The views are going to be dipping off within the next 15 minutes or so, I would have thought. And where I'm stood here, we've got some beautiful views. We've got Dead Pike, which is this one here. This path here leads down into what's known as the Fairy Glen. And the big one in the background, which you can see here, that's Seat Sandal. And as you head further northeast, that takes you up onto Dollywagon Pike and eventually up onto Helvellyn and towards the Fairfield Horseshoe. And then of course, by default, the other way leads you down into Grasmere. So even though it's low-lying cloud, the views are still absolutely beautiful. And for not much incline at the minute, the peak of Helm Crag is 415 metres, so what's that, about 1,1300 foot, so it's not mega. But you feel like you're really up in the mountains. And I'm really looking forward to getting up on the top. And if the cloud lifts, the weather gets a little bit better, some beautiful views out over the Langdale Pikes and down to Easdale Tarn, which we might have a nip down to later on as well. So, before things worsen and I jinx it, let's get ourselves up to the top. Well, here we are. This is actually the true summit of Helm Crag, and that rock structure is known as the Howitzer. And believe it or not, here's an interesting fact. Good old Alfred Wainwright, that is. He did all the Wainwrights, obviously. But this is the only one that he didn't actually make it to the summit of. And I can see why. A little bit of a scramble, you could make it, but that is the true summit. So it's called the Howitzer, named after a World War I cannon, which by all accounts it looks like from certain angles. Or it's also known as the old lady playing the piano, or the organ, one or the other. And then if I turn around, behind us now, the opposite end is Helm Crag, and the famous structure on there is known as the Lion and the Lamb. But a lot of people think that's the true summit of Helm Crag, and it's not. The Howitzer is. So, needless to say, you can see the weather conditions. I will have a wander across there, but as I was coming up, I scouted out a perfect little spot, which is just under the cloud cover, and does, reward us with some views for the time being anyway. So I think I've found my pitch anyway for tonight, so that's good news. Well, found the perfect spot, just off the beaten track here. There'll be quite a bit of traffic, I would imagine, in the morning. And I'm just down on a little bit of a ledge here, which is just down from the Howitzer, the true summit. Incidentally, a little bit of a fact about that, the Howitzer bit there. That's the picture which is on Alfred Wainwright's Pictorial Guide to the Central Fells. That's the one. Anyway, enough of this tomfoolery. Yeah, this is an absolutely perfect spot, this. It's about as flat as you can get and it affords some good views. I'll swing you around so you can see. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Right, enough messing around. Let's see how long it takes to get this new tent up. This is its maiden voyage. Wish us luck. Well folks, that's us set up. Lovely little pitch, and it didn't take too long at all. That was the first time I've pitched it, other than I did do it in the dining room, like, but that doesn't count. Probably took 10 minutes, 10 or maybe 11 minutes max. Not a great deal of time. Easy enough to put up, easy enough to figure out, and there's loads of space, absolutely loads of space. The temperature's dropping now, so I'm just going to get myself inside, get me kit all kind of sorted out and put into its place and what have you, and then I'll show you around this billion-star accommodation. Well, 0-star at the minute, but you know what I mean. Yeah, good bit of kit. I'm liking this. Folks, and welcome to the Naturehike Cloudpeak 2. This is the new portable holiday home. I'm putting the Fox 2 into retirement. Well, I'm not really. I'll still use the Fox 2 because it does have its merits. But this is its maiden voyage. I'm well impressed. Didn't take much setting up at all, and because of the design, it's drum tight. Without even pegging it down, so you can move it around into the perfect pitch. So when you wake up in the morning, you open up the doors, you've got your beautiful sunrise, you know. Absolutely magic, really pleased with it. And it's warm as toast in here as well. It's about 0 degrees outside, coming on -1. I've had my water bottle just in the vestibule. It's been in there for a couple of hours and there's actually bits of ice in it, so it is cold outside, but I'm actually warm in here. I have got my Eskimo jumper on, mind you. So I'm gonna knock up some bait, and the beauty of this as well. One of the reasons why I wanted to do it. I mean, I'm 6 foot. I'm sat up here, and there's absolutely loads of room. And having a bit of a bad back and stuff like that. Just having that little bit extra space really does make a massive difference. So as far as the gear is concerned, it's all basics. I have shown you some of them in previous videos. Foil mat underneath just to radiate some of the heat or stop some of the cold coming up through your bag. I've got the Trekology UL80 inflating bag with the tail gear inflator and light, which is really good. OEX sleeping bag, just sitting in it here. 4 season, it's the EV400. All of this kit, it's cheap. It's all cheap gear. And I'm just getting some new stuff as well. I'm just getting the, this is called the Red Camp alcohol stove. That was about, I don't know, £7 or something like that. Really good. And I've also invested in these. Are an absolute game changer, these. And I've bought these because when you're in your tent, you've got limited space, and I just lose stuff. I don't know where things are, and I've got no system. So now I've got a system, and it's colour coded. Dry bags, absolutely perfect. Not only does it keep everything dry and watertight, but everything, you know where everything is. Orange is my food bag. I've got, I'll show you some of the gear in there in a minute. The blue one is dry clothes or change of clothes, because the last thing you want is to be in your sweaty gear. You want to be nice and comfortable. That's my clothes one. And the red one is for tech gear, batteries, storage devices, you can stick mobile phones, torches, power banks. It's all in there, and again watertight, and also keeps the temperature up a little bit because the cold affects that as well. So absolutely magic. What a great addition. Talk about great additions. Hot hands. That's a foot warmer. But it does work on your hands as well. Real game changer. Heat for up to 8 hours. I'll stick them in my socks for later on. That's going to be absolutely, completely mint. So I'm just going to, I've just been kind of settling in for a couple of hours and just kind of keep them warm, really. I'm certainly the only person up on the mountain here, and it's about time for tea. So I'll stick some music on in the background, knock up a bit of tea, and I'm sure I'm in for a very comfy, warm and cosy night. And hopefully, if the clag's lifted, I'm in for some fantastic views tomorrow morning as well. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's get some bait on the go. Brilliant. This looks like it could be ready. Right, let's see what this is saying. Ah, that's warm all the way through that. Let's have a look. Oh, it smells good. Smells great. God, that's hot. I don't know if you make that out. Let's give it a go. Tender pieces of steak mixed with vegetables in a delicious gravy. Yeah, that looks that's actually quite nice. It's like a it's just like a beef stew type of thing. No wrong with that, like. Warms you up. That's for sure. Is there any beef? Ah, there's a bit of beef. Brilliant. I'm going to wallop this and I'm going to enjoy. I've only brought the one, like. I don't know, can you see that? No. Beavertown. Nanobot. Super Session IPA. It's only a 2.8. Dead light. That's all I wanted. Cheers, everybody. Ah, absolutely champion. Well, folks, welcome to another day. The Lake District. A little bit of a sunrise occurring here. It's about 7:30, give or take. Quite a peaceful night, actually, although it was very, very cold, bitterly cold. I was comfortable and I was warm and slept pretty much most of the night. Fantastic. What a beautiful morning. The tent did very, very well. Very, very well. Very impressed with it. Loads of room. Having that extra space really does make a huge difference. Massive difference. But like I said last night, there's a couple of things which I thought I really, really like about it, and there's a couple of little niggles. So what I thought I would do is I'll just kind of give you just a brief overview It's the Naturehike Cloudpeak 2. And yeah, I'll show you around. So the tent comes with its own hat, but it can get quite flappy. So it's best really to try and build up the tension on each of these, and just a little twist around the pole will do the business. The other thing is, there is a gap all the way at the bottom. I'm not so sure it's a true 4-season tent. Snow and rain would get in through there, but it is 4,000 static head unit, so it's completely waterproof. What I do like about it is vestibules, loads of room on both sides as well, really good. This is the new design, and it used to have a T-zip, but this one's got the U-zip. So what it means is the door just drops to the floor like that. It's not the be all and end all, just a slight little niggle. Loads of room inside, and you can see the inner is attached to the outer, and the door on the other side as well. There is bags of room. You've got a very good bathtub on it, and the only other thing is, I would say you've only got that pocket, and then at the other end this pocket, and that's it for storage. It could have done with something a little bit more than that, but otherwise absolutely bags of room. Really, really good. The other slight niggle is the band which goes across there. You tend to trip on it, but these are very, very minor points. Otherwise, absolutely fantastic. Very, very pleased with that. And like I said, a very comfortable night's sleep. I can hear people coming up the mountain. It's early doors, so the traffic's already going to make a start. So I think what I'm going to do is get some breakfast on the go. So that's exactly what we shall do. Bit of an unusual breakfast, but it doesn't make any difference when you're out camping, does it? The sausage and beans bag had actually burst, and it must have burst before I actually bought it, so I don't know if it's off or not, so I'm not going to risk it. So it's meatballs and pasta for breakfast on the top of a mountain. Let's see what this is saying. It's certainly warm, that's for sure, which is the main thing. There's some snow over on the hills, which is nice to see. Oh, that smells nice. Oh, it's hot. Mega hot. Oh. That's better. Oh, there's plenty of meatballs in here as well. Oh, very, very nice. These Wayfarer meals are absolutely fantastic. Really good. There's an absolute stack of meatballs in here as well. And what a place to have breakfast there. Absolutely stunning. Got a beautiful sunrise. Very, very nice. Yeah, so I think the overall conclusion, I'm really pleased with the Naturehike Cloudpeak 2. The space is so valuable. What a difference it makes. And having this headroom really does make a difference. Really good, guys, really good. So there's people starting to come up the mountain now. So I'm gonna strike camp and do that familiar routine of getting this all packed away, making sure I'm leaving no trace whatsoever. And then it's about a 1.7 mile hike back down to the car. and then heading home, folks. So it's been a fantastic night, thoroughly enjoyed it, and just sitting here on the edge of the crag, looking out over the mountains, seeing a beautiful sunrise. It's invaluable. Really, really good. So I'm going to sign off here, folks. Thanks very much for coming along. Thanks for watching, and if you've made it this far, well done. But I always think it's a good thing. Get out into the wilderness. Forget about Facebook. Forget about Instagram. You know, forget about the TV. Forget about the news. You know, just come out and enjoy a bit of prescription nature. It really does fill the soul. What a difference. And on that note, folks, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and until next time, hope to see you on the next Yonder Mountain adventure. Bye for now.